The convenience store hummed under flickering lights. Marcus moved carefully between aisles, eyes darting to shadows. Daniel stepped in, swagger heavy with authority. "Watch where you're going," he snapped. Marcus straightened, calm. "I was fine." A cart tipped. Chips scattered. Whispers rippled. Daniel smirked. Marcus met his gaze, unflinching. Silence stretched. The power felt unbalanced, thick and suffocating, yet Marcus held his ground. Shoppers shifted uneasily. Cameras blinked from security feeds. Daniel smirked. "Relax, it's just shopping." A woman whispered to her friend, "Remember last time?" Marcus adjusted his jacket. Calm. Daniel's swagger faltered. Eyes flicked to him, hesitant. Judgmental. No one spoke loud enough to break the tension. History hung heavy. Unchallenged, yet alive. Daniel sneered. "What? You don't know how to walk straight?" Marcus straightened, voice calm. "I walked just fine until you showed up." A silence fell. Thick and heavy. Shoppers froze, eyes flicking between them. Daniel's smirk faltered. Whispers rippled quietly. The store seemed to pause, holding its breath. A subtle shift of power hung in the air. Daniels grabbed a packet, smashing it across Marcus' jacket. A woman whispered, "Did he just?" Phones clicked. Cameras caught every moment. Marcus stood still, calm. Daniel smirked. Arrogance thick. Whispers and gasps filled the air. Silence pressed heavy. Eyes fixed. For the first time, control felt uncertain. Narration carries the weight of memory. Daniel's face isn't new. It's a repeat headline in whispers. Flashbacks blur boys cornered after school, complaints lost in paperwork, parents dismissed by calm, indifferent smiles. The locker room once echoed with silent fear. Now in this store, the same air thickens. A mother watching clutches her child closer, remembering a name, a night, a warning. Daniel stands unaware, his power rehearsed, his arrogance routine. But in every shifting stare around him, something old stirs awake an unspoken truth. They've all seen this before. A reporter murmured, "People are finally talking about him." A trembling teen near the aisle whispered, "He humiliated me too." Last year. Phones lifted quietly, lenses watching power unwrap itself. Daniels adjusted his collar. Unaware of the eyes tightening around him, narration lingered each breath in the room, felt like judgment. Shoppers froze mid-step, pretending to browse, yet capturing history. Inside every stare, disbelief met relief. For once, silence wasn't fear, it was evidence gathering. And Daniels, still smirking, had no idea his downfall had already begun. Daniels scoffed. "You got nothing to say now?" Marcus met his stare steady. "Not to you." The words landed soft yet final. A few bystanders shifted, phones trembling in their hands. Daniels laughed too loudly, his confidence cracking between echoes. Narration filled the silence, arrogance collapsing under calm. Each blink, each breath betrayed him more than anger ever could. A woman whispered, "He's losing it." No one replied. The quiet stretched. Heavy, merciless. And in that stillness, Daniel's authority shrank, not with noise, but with the weight of being watched. Daniels muttered, "You people never learn, do you?" A quiet voice behind him said, "We're learning now." The phone's lens caught everything, the smear, the silence, the shift. Narration rippled through the moment. The world wasn't loud, but it was watching. Within hours, the clip spread, strangers whispering, "It's happening again." Old victims scrolled in silence, tears forming, not from pain but relief. Daniel scrolled too, jaw tightening. Each view stripped him bare, each comment a mirror, and beneath his uniformed pride, something cracked, not loudly, but enough for the world to finally hear it. Daniel shifted in his seat, eyes fixed on the floor. "Look at me," Marcus said softly. "You owe that much." Daniels hesitated. "You think this," his voice cracked, "this changes anything?" Marcus didn't answer. The silence did. Narration pressed in. Cameras clicked, breaths held, the hum of tension filling the room. Pride once worn like armor now clung to Daniels like guilt. Jurors leaned forward, every blink recorded, every twitch magnified. "I did my job," Daniels muttered, more to himself. Marcus' tone stayed calm. "No, you did what you could get away with." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Someone whispered, "He's breaking." Daniels' hands trembled. Sweat traced his jawline. The badge on his chest suddenly felt heavier, colder. Narration followed his unraveling, the illusion of power eroding under the gaze of truth. No gavel struck, no outburst filled the silence. Only the quiet reckoning between two men, one finally free, the other finally seen. And in that hush, justice didn't roar. It breathed, steady, unforgiving. The judge's voice sliced through the still air. "Do you understand the severity of your actions, Officer Daniels?" Daniels swallowed hard. I didn't mean," Marcus spoke before the silence could fade. "You meant it enough for everyone to see." The room shifted. Narration lingered over the weight of that moment. Daniels' hands trembling, pride dissolving beneath fluorescent lights. Every glance from jurors burned hotter than the cameras flashing. His badge, once a symbol of control, now gleamed like irony. The officers stepped forward. Handcuffs clicked, slow and deliberate, metal meeting skin with the finality of truth. A murmur rippled through the courtroom. Someone whispered, "Finally." Daniels looked at Marcus, voice breaking. "You don't know what this feels like." Marcus' eyes didn't waver. "I've lived it." "You're just visiting." Narration captured the shift, the sound of collapse without chaos. No cheers, no outrage. Just silence wrapping the moment like a verdict itself. In that stillness, vindication wasn't loud. It was steady, dignified, unforgettable. A justice that didn't shout, but finally made the world listen. Daniel sat alone, scrolling through the glowing names on plaques that once defined him. Each medal now felt like proof of the lies he'd built his pride on. Outside, voices drifted, quiet, steady. He finally faced it. About time. Marcus walked home under dim streetlights. No cameras this time, only the calm weight of truth on his shoulders. Neighbors paused, eyes soft with guilt, some pretending not to see him at all. The air held something different, not noise, but recognition. Narration lingers on their silence, the unspoken acceptance that power had finally been held accountable. The community didn't cheer. They simply knew. Justice had whispered instead of shouted, and that whisper was louder than any verdict. Daniel stared at his phone, unread messages, calls fading into nothing. His daughter's last text glowed faintly. "I need time." He didn't reply. Outside, the world moved without him. Shopkeepers quietly removed his framed photo, the glass catching brief sunlight before being tucked away. Marcus passed by, stopping for a moment, his reflection merging with Daniel's fading image. He thought, silence isn't weakness. It's control. The street felt different, softer, honest. Neighbors spoke in low tones, no anger, only understanding. Narration held the calm aftermath, not victory, but balance.